Ladies and gentlemen, your star of Game 7. Who is your daddy? It's Matty. How about the fact that this guy was not called upon in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals? But boy, John, did he show up in Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
I'll tell you, never hesitated, had the open shots and took it. Very similar to what Mike Miller did the year before. They needed him because they were so collapsing and clogging the painted area. It was so hard for LeBron and Dwayne to get into that paint, and Shane started making some shots, and it really freed things up.
To steal a line from Jax, he was three-licious. Yeah, just open up and say, you can taste it.
That is trademarked and copyrighted.
It's amazing. We saw the images of Mike Miller there, who did it in Game 5 with one more three than Shane had. But man, that's why these guys are here. You talk about the way this team was built, John. That's exactly what Pat Riley envisioned.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, again, this group has just been so resilient. They came back from so many different tough losses together, and we saw that all playoffs long. In fact, it almost was a little scary there at the end. Win-loss, win-loss. But they win in the end when it matters.
Rolling by us now. Right here in front of the Biscayne Boulevard 601 address. Flat after flat, boss after boss. And here comes the bird. Yeah, look at it. Get out of the bird cage and let him have it, Bird. There he is. Give it to him. Give it to him. I want it. Give it to him. Yeah. Good times going on out there on Biscayne Boulevard, to say the least. He and his fiancée Tina there. What a great group.
Goodness, look at that group of guys looking over at the bus right now. It's like 20 people on top of that.
Hanging from the street side.
Scaffolding.
Exactly. Please hold up. That's all we ask. As Battier, Miller, and Anderson are all in the same bus. I love engineering, and I'm glad I wasn't smart enough to be a part of it. Because that thing, boy, oh boy, I don't want to have to trust that. But here, look at the Fan Express. Our fans at Sun Sports, friends at Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida, good enough to put together this wonderful group opportunity. You and your friends obviously can get together. I believe 50 folks can get on that thing, if not a little bit more. And roll out, check out heat.com, foxsportsflorida.com for more information on how you and your friends can get together. The Heat Fan Express starting next season.
Oh my goodness, here it comes, Jackson.
The Cole van cannot believe.
I can smell the fumes.
What I'm seeing. Come on, baby. You know what? If it didn't have all those other nicknames, I would simply call it the Cole Train. But that thing is something else, man. It is an absolute disaster. But it's our disaster.
It is our disaster.
You know what I mean?
I'll tell you that.
Who's in there driving that thing?
His
dad was. By the way, you better get your head out that side window.
I was going to say, he should be very well respected at the end of this journey.
Exactly. Good times on that bus. All right, who we got rolling up right now? You got Jay Sable, the head athletic trainer. All right, Bill Ferran. We're peeking over the head of D-Wade right now in front of Bayside, a little further back than what I was indicating before. Well, there he is. Number 3 for number 3. And there's a man that gets him ready. Leading a great medical staff. Jay Sable, one of those guys who kind of hides back, doesn't want any accolade whatsoever. My kind of guy, though. Jay Sable is a fun character that takes his job seriously, working for so long behind one of the great trainers, the original trainer of this team, head athletic trainer, also a 1968 graduate of Bowling Green State University. Wow. Yes, Mr. Ron Culp. But now Jay has the reins and his great staff with, of course, Michael and Ray and on, the guys that help him get everything done. Vinny Aquilino, Coach Ferran, they just all do such a great job day after day, knocking it out with a great medical staff led by Dr. Edward Neff and Harlan Selznick.
Got the team dentist, Mike Robinson, looking at me over there now.
I've been wearing out his team. Let me tell you something. I've been wearing out Kronberg, the ENT, here knows the throw guy.
He probably figures you need to go back for an appointment to fix that cavity or something.
Straighten it up, whiten them up.
But as you can tell, it's such a massive group of people to make sure the bodies are ready. Their bodies are their business. As John, you know, you better have a sound medical staff to keep these bodies right.
Oh, it's a great group of people. They've been around the team a long time. Great accountability, great confidentiality. When you need them in a pinch, they're there for you.
Oh, the dawning of the number 3 right there.
Michael McCullough.
On the bus right in front of us, with our eyes on television locked in on Dwayne Wade and his family. Oh, he's giving it to him. Rain the love down. Right before every game, he does the same thing, doesn't he? So bus number 8 making its way with D. Wade and Mario Chalmers and Heat legend Tim Hardaway. Our buddy Tony Fiorentino in there. The great Bob McAdoo. Also the director of sports media relations, Rob Wilson, who apparently does not believe in sleep during the regular season. We will get off a flight at 3 a.m. and at 6 a.m. we get all our game notes. You think head coaches are sick puppies like Greg Popovich said? You run a sports media relation office. You better have a sick puppy just like Rob Wilson. There he is on the left next to Dwayne Wade. So I'm going to tell you what, our vice president of that department, Tim Donovan, has a bulldog along his side, and Rob Wilson getting it done. Dwayne Wade, it's so important to him that he has this 3rd title. Because, and he said it before, that first title, it was for Zoe. That 2nd title was to legitimize all the greatness of LeBron James. But he said, this 3rd title's for me. I'm number 3.
Kill greedy.
The Father, the Son, and the Wade spirit on that one. It's so appropriate, so right. It's the symmetrical nature of it all. It's so appropriate, John, for Dwayne.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him. And he had to battle that bruised knee the entire playoff. People doubted him again, and it seemed like always when people doubt him the most, he steps up the biggest. He had some big games, particularly in that final series, where he was able to score and be explosive, get on top of the rim, and slash, get the mid-range game going, and keep that defense honest, and do much more than that. And all year long, he and LeBron continue to play their 2-man game and put on some of the finest aerial shows on the fast break with their lobs back and forth that I've ever seen.
You know, Jax, we've seen this from Dwayne throughout the years. This year, obviously, he seemed a little more banged up than in previous years. But last year, he toughed through another knee injury on the left side, averaged 23 points a game in the postseason last year on the way to a championship. We've seen it even in 06, you know, up and down a little bit. He had some injuries, and they got a championship there. Even the year before that, when they lost the Eastern Conference Finals in 05, people remember a serious rib injury that kept them out of one game in Game 6 in Detroit, and came back in Game 7 with a yeoman-like effort. That's just been what Dwayne Wade is to this franchise. No matter what the stakes are, he's always going to be out there when it matters most.
And that has manifested itself into 3 championships. And number 3 is with our coach, Tony Fiorentino.
Ready? Thanks, Jax. I'm here with 3, formerly known as D. Wade. What's it like for you? 3 championships, 3 parades. Your thoughts, your feelings?
Well, it's humbling. You know, it's very humbling to be here. I envisioned a lot of things. I can't say I envisioned this. You know, like I said, this was this parade down Biscayne Boulevard was once a vision by Coach Riley, and now we've taken this ride 3 times. So, you know, it's special.
Got to be extra special for you to have your mom, your 2 sons, your sister, the rest of your family here.
It is. It's very special to share with the ones who support you. Our fans support us. Our family support us. So, you know, it gets no better than that.
Could you ever envision a guy from the suburbs of Chicago being embraced and treated like a native son in South Florida?
Not at all. This is my home. They treated me well since day 1. I'll be here for about the rest of my life. In this amazing city. So, you know, I thank the Miamians for accepting me as one of their own.
How big were the fans in Game 6 and 7 with that home court advantage?
We don't win it without our fans. You know, we don't get to be the dominant home team all year without our fans. So I'm glad we could share a moment with them.
Thanks, Wayne. Let's go back to Jax.
Tony, thank you very much. It's so interesting when you think about the ideal that this team wanted to create in the fall of 2010, gentlemen. They wanted to make it nerve-wracking, unsettling to come into American Airlines Arena and try to play this team. And there were some losses in those first 2 years that shouldn't have happened in the building. Boy, oh boy, did they get there this year. George, it was unbelievable watching this team at home. It wasn't always easy, and Ray had to win a few of those first ones, didn't he?
Yeah.
But it was really tough.
Well, I think when we saw them hit their stride during that 27-game winning streak during the regular season, it was unbelievable stuff that we were watching. And you want to talk about a flair for the theatrics. As you mentioned, Ray bailed them out in a couple of those games, hit some big shots.
Denver, Milwaukee,
Sacramento.
Cleveland.
Yeah, exactly. Sacramento went to a couple of
San Antonio.
Yeah. And so there were a number of games, but none to me more than that Cleveland game. You were there. John and I were in the studio. Losing. The scoreboard came down. I mean, this is one of those where you're going, what else could happen? Down 27 points, and then they come back to win that game.
It was amazing, and it was amazing to start with Jason describing the type of substance that was falling down.
Excellent reporting by you as always.
Those skills are not dormant. They just haven't been used for a while.
Just, giving it the taste test before.
There's an oily substance inside of this.
But what a comeback, and again, the team showing their resilience throughout the course of that game. And LeBron being able to do it on that stage, which is it's so personal for him. Anytime you've played somewhere and you go back, and particularly in Cleveland, where he left and it was tough. And I think we saw the people begin to embrace him back again this year with the Heat jerseys and some of the comments that were made when he went back.
With John Crotty and George Sedano, I'm Jason Jackson. Welcome to the 2013 Miami Heat Championship celebration on Sun Sports, presented to you by Gulfstream Park. It has been a pleasure getting this thing underway, getting the parade rolling through the streets. The people have been fantastic, getting here as early as 5:30 in the morning to get position. The traffic got so dense that some of the Heat executives and players couldn't get here. One Heat broadcaster was tardy out here for our meeting today because of traffic issues.
Who was that?
I don't have any idea. So anyway, with that being said, everyone is in place. It's great. The arena is filled to the rafters for the second part of this celebration, which is going to be fantastic as well. And it's a wonderful duality that the Miami Heat provides. It would be simple and easy, do everything inside, take care of partners from the business side, season ticket holders, families, but they have this wonderful free opportunity for anyone in the Heat Nation to come out and have a piece of it before we head indoors for a little TV show that people will remember for some time.
I think, again, it just shows you that this franchise is about family. And now they show you it's about the extended family. Every single one of these fans is part of this Heat family. They've supported this team in one way, shape, or form. And you got to reward those people, Jackson. I think that's why the Heat have done this the way they've done it the last couple of years.
And, John, we've gotten better at it. I mean, there are no more sunglasses. We're not getting scorched by a metal table.
No IV bags afterward.
We got to be wise about it. But this is such a fun part of sending us off on our 100-day sojourn to get our minds, body, and soul ready for another run. But it's something that I at least this morning said, let me hit a pause button and realize that I get to sit along with some of my favorite people to talk about the greatness of this team and this franchise.
As a former player, one of the things that's really common at the end of a basketball season, everybody just goes, I mean, you're thrust together with these people for 8-9 months of your life. You become very close. Sometimes you're finding out things about guys you really don't want to know, okay? But they become your family. And it's such a quick, violent, abrupt ending at times when you lose and then you're gone. And within 48 hours, everybody leaves that city and goes about their business. So to have this experience and this closure with their teammates, with their coaches, with the fans, it's a phenomenal way to end a season. And and really happy for these guys to be able to bring their families to this event. And I'm glad I got my family here to experience it. It is just such an amazing time.
It is. You know, I have 2 sons that are in athletics, and to be around this, my youngest son was just 2 when we showed up. He doesn't know any better. We talk all the time about how critical it is to make sure you realize how special this is, and that it's not something that you take for granted. So wonderful parenting points also allowed when you're a part of this thing as well. Guys, let's take a short break. We've been talking for a minute. As the parade portion has come to a close, we take a peek back at some of the wonderful images rolling through. A parade is always a good time, man. It's tough to be sad. I just needed 76 trombones. That's all I needed. But we got everything. The head coach, the pots and pans, the champions.